Voodoo Ranger IPA, reminding you to live rangerously and drink responsibly. May the beer always flow and your dice rolls be ever in your favour. And for beer news and occasional mediocre advice, follow at Voodoo Ranger on Twitter and Instagram. Seven Wonders by Antoine Bauzat is the ultimate card drafting game for 3 to 7 players. With an age rating of 10 plus and just about 30 minutes of game time, this game really is for everyone to enjoy. With quite a simple rule set, the rulebook still somehow comes to 8 pages though, so throw away that rulebook and let me teach you how to play Seven Wonders. Start by preparing the age cards, which are these cards with the 1, 2 and 3 on the backs. Separate them into their relevantly numbered stacks and then go through them to make sure you only keep the ones for the player count you're using. In this example, I'm setting up for a 3-player game, so I'll be getting rid of any of these that have a minimum player count of 4 or higher. Any unused age cards go back in the box. They will not be used in this game. In the age 3 stack, you will need to take out all the purple cards to start. Shuffle them together and randomly draw as many cards as number of players plus 2. Add these cards back to the age 3 stack and place the rest of the purple cards into the game box. These will not be used in this game. Shuffle the different stacks and place the age cards in the middle of the table within everyone's reach. Each player should now get a wonder board at random. These are the 7 boards featuring the 7 wonders of the world. You get it? You may notice that the wonder boards are double-sided. You can choose to play on the day or the night phase, but for beginners, it's recommended to play on the day side. Give each player 3 coins and place them on their wonder boards. The rest of the coins can be placed in the middle of the table to make the coin reserve. All military tokens can go in the middle of the table too. This is the military conflict token reserve. Any other game components can be returned to the box. They will not be used in this game. The game plays over 3 ages, with each age playing out pretty much the same and scoring happening at the end of the 3rd age. Each age is comprised into 6 phases, which are played simultaneously. A turn is split into 3 stages. At the beginning of each age, 7 cards are dealt to each player from the relevant age stack. You must now look at the 7 cards in your hand and choose one to keep. The other 6 cards are to be placed in a face-down stack to your left. Once everyone has chosen a card to keep, you all reveal your chosen card simultaneously. You can now either construct the building on your card, construct one of the stages of your wonder, or sell the card. Constructing the building on your card simply means paying the cost listed on the top left side of the card and placing it in front of you where it will remain for the rest of the game. There are 4 different ways of paying for the construction of a card. Number 1, no cost. If there is simply no symbol, that card is free and you don't have to pay a thing. How nice! Number 2, coin cost. In this case, you actually need to pay using real-life 7 Wonders money. You start with 3 coins in your reserve, and there are a number of ways to earn money throughout the game. But it doesn't come easy. This isn't Monopoly, so be careful splashing all your cash too quickly. Number 3, resource cost. There are 2 different ways of paying using resources. Number 1 is to look at any buildings already constructed in your city and looking at what resources they output. If I produce 2 wood, I can go ahead and build this without having to do anything further. If I only produce 1 wood, but I need 2 to build this card, I might have to go looking at my neighbour's resources. Unlike games like Catan or Monopoly, you don't need to haggle with your neighbours to use their resources. You can just go ahead and assume it's okay. To use a neighbour's resources, you need to pay the neighbour whose resource you're using 2 coins for each resource used, noting that you can only use each resource once per turn. And you can only use the resources from their brown or grey cards, and their starting bonus from their wonder board. In other words, you cannot use resources from their yellow cards or the wonder board stages at the bottom of the board. Using a neighbour's resource does not stop them from using the same resource. Last but not least, you can pay for the construction of a building using chain costs. A lot of cards will have a symbol on the top right like this. If you have built any buildings with this symbol already on and you later come across a building that shows you that symbol next to the cost, you're allowed to ignore the other costs and simply build it for free. To construct a stage of your wonder, you need to look at the cost on the wonder board. Make sure you have these resources available in your city, which are any constructed buildings in front of you, and sacrifice the card you've just placed by turning it face down and placing it under the stage of the wonder you're constructing, so that it's still at least half visible to indicate which stages you have constructed. You must build the stages from left to right. You can't skip any. The effect of the stage you've built on your wonder board lasts for the rest of the game. So for the second stage of the Alexandria wonder, I will have access to either wood, stone, ore, or brick for the rest of the game. All effects are listed on this handy double-sided sheet that comes with the game. Your third option is to sell the card, which simply means you're discarding the card face down to a discard pile in the middle of the table and receiving 3 coins. There are a number of reasons why you may want to do this. Maybe you don't have enough coins to construct any of the buildings in your hand, or you simply want to get rid of one of the cards your opponent might want. The final step of your turn is to take the stack of cards you placed to your left and pass them to the player to your left. Everyone now has a new hand of cards and play continues as before. Little thing of note, you pass to the left for ages 1 and 3 and to the right for age 2. The direction is also noted on the back of the age cards if you need a reminder. One last thing of note for an age, on your 6th and last turn you will be left with 2 cards in your hand. You now choose one and do exactly as the rest of the turns, except instead of passing the other card along, you simply discard it to the discard pile in the middle of the table. At the end of each age, you fight. To do this, you count the number of military symbols in front of you and compare them to your direct neighbours on your left and your right to determine who has the stronger military strength. If your military strength is equal to your neighbour, nothing happens. If your military strength is higher than one of your neighbours, you receive a military token corresponding to the age you're currently playing. A 1 pointer for age 1, 3 points for age 2, and 5 whopping points for age 3. If your military strength is lower than your neighbours, you must take a military defeat token, which is a sad little -1 token. It is the second age. I have 3 military symbols and beat my neighbour on the left, who only has 1, so I receive 3 victory points and they receive a -1 token. My neighbour on the left, however, has a whopping 5 military strength, so in this case I lose, meaning I receive a -1 token and they receive 3 victory points. Once the military conflict has been resolved, you get to move on to the next age. The game ends when you've completed all 3 ages fully. You now tally up your scores using the handy-dandy score pad provided. You have 7 sections to the scoring pad. Number 1, Wonder Board. Add any victory points from the constructed stages of your wonder. 2, Treasure. Each set of 3 coins is worth 1 victory point. 3, Military Conflicts. Minus any military defeat tokens from any military victory tokens and put the result here. It is possible to receive a negative score here. 4, Blue Cards. Any victory points depicted on blue cards. 5, Yellow Cards. Add any victory points from yellow cards here. The value of the points are often dependent on the score criteria. For example, receive 2 victory points for each grey card you have built. Number 6, Green Cards. Science cards are the most complicated bit of scoring you'll have to do. You receive points depending on how many identical symbols you have, in which case you have a look at the chart to tell you how many points you receive. You also earn points for each set of 3 different symbols you have. In this case, I will score 9 points for owning 3 compass symbols, 4 points for owning 2 runes, and 1 point for owning 1 cog. I also have 1 set of 3 different symbols for which I score 7 more points. Number 7, add any victory points from the purple cards in your city. The player with the highest score wins. In case of a tie, the player with the most treasure wins. If there's still a tie, all tied players win. Boo! And that's how to play 7 Wonders. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful at all, there are plenty more videos for you to check out. For more how to plays, to reviews and let's plays, we try to cater for everyone. If you'd like to keep watching, simply click one of the videos that are popping up on the screen right about now. Feel free to also give this video a like and subscribe if you'd like to be kept in the loop for future videos. Thanks very much for watching and have a lovely day.